Hey guys, how are you doing? Happy Easter. I hope you're doing well today on this Good Sunday. Wanted to come on here for a few minutes and answer some dating questions. I'm pulling these questions off Cura. If you don't know who I am and you just came by my page and it just showed you either on TikTok or on YouTube, my name is Coach B. Wiley. I'm a certified professional life coach, and my content is all around dating and communicating. And today I wanted to answer some of your dating and communicating questions. These are pulled from Cura. I got my laptop over there. Quora. Look me up, be Wiley. If you want to ask me a question on there, you can ask me a question here in the comments on TikTok Live, and or when this goes up on YouTube in the comments, you can email me at datingtips@coachbwiley.net. I don't know how to put that up here, but it's datingtips@coachbwiley.net. The first question is, why do people stay in toxic relationships so long? Usually when you're in a toxic situation, it's very comfortable. When you're with this person, you know who they are from the inside out. Meaning, typically you stay with someone because you don't want to get out of that and then have to relearn someone else. That's probably one of the main top 3 to top 5 reasons why people stay in these toxic relationships, toxic dating ships, situationships. It's because you know who they are. So it's just like, I'm comfortable. They know who I am. Why would I go out of this to get something else when I've actually convinced myself that something else will probably be worse, if not the same? Usually, people who are in toxic relationships may convince themselves that because they have had a previous pattern of attracting toxic energy, that they don't even really understand what their toxic traits are and what position they play in these dating scenarios when it comes to being toxic. And that makes it that much harder to get out of it, because even though you don't like the toxicity, there are some things, of course, in that dating situation that you do like. And you focus more so on that hoping that it will somehow overshadow the toxic traits. But when it doesn't, sometimes people will stick around in these dating situations in hopes that something will change. And I'm always here to say, these people will show you who they are. That dude will show you who he is through his actions. He can say whatever through his mouth. He can be toxic as ever, but telling you he loves you, he wants to be with you, you're the only person he's ever committed to. It could be lie after lie, and it just could be a bunch of bunk. However, it's on you to only make decisions solely off their actions. And if their actions are toxic, and what is toxic? Toxic is a poison. And a lot of people don't treat that as a poison. They just throw words around, not realizing literally what it is. If someone was literally taking a spoon and spoon feeding you toxins, would you sit there and sit back like a baby and open your mouth and choo 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 and swallow it down? Of course not. You'd be like, you'll knock the spoon out their hand and you get the heck out of Dodge. So why can't you do that? Why can't you knock this dating situation out of your hand, away from your face, and actually decide to move on? Those are questions that need answers. So that was the first question. If you're just tuning in, I'm looking at questions on Cura and I'm answering them. Just a few. Be on here maybe 15, 20 minutes. All right, I saw another question down here. What is the ideal number of calls per week for a long distance relationship? The ideal, shoot. Okay, let me stick with the subject. For long distance relationships, you want to talk to that person as much as you can every day. If you're in a long distance relationship, because outside of dating online, finding your person online, and or outside of that, there are a lot of people that are choosing to date long distance. Me personally, I'm not into dating long distance, because if I can't reach out and touch you whenever I feel like it, whenever I would like to, and vice versa, that's not going to work for me. However, for those of you who are choosing to be in a long distance relationship, or if the relationship happens to become a long distance relationship because of a job change, someone has to move, those things happen, then you want to make sure you keep the communication wide open. Like, it's different when you live in close quarters to someone, meaning a drive away. You could just go up the street, go to their job for lunch, go down the block, they're at their mother's house, or just simply drive to their house. It's just like that. However, when you're in a long distance relationship, if you're insecure, and maybe not, if you're pondering on how this is going to work, when you ponder and or if you're insecure, those could create fearful thoughts, such as, Is he going to cheat? Is he cheating? Is he talking to another girl? Did he meet another girl at his new job? Did he meet another girl at the gym? I know he's heavy in the gym. You have all these questions going on in your mind that could be stemming from absolutely nowhere. He could be absolutely 100% faithful. But because he's long distance and you don't have that access that you want to him, you could then start thinking things that don't make sense. And you can start getting these ideas that could hinder your relationship, when really at the end of the day, keep the communication wide open, always talk every single day. And when you're not actually can talk on the phone, excuse me, like when you're at work, sure, text, whatever. But when you can actually talk, video chat as much as you can. Specifically for those of you who are in long distance relationships, you want to video chat as much as you can. How do I tell? This is something else about a long distance one. This one is kind of funny. How do I tell a long distance boyfriend that his texts and calls make my heart melt? I feel like I got to sneeze, guys. How do I, excuse me, how do I tell a long distance boyfriend that his texts and calls make my heart melt? You just open your mouth, bump your gums, and tell him. Easy, done. All right. What is this, guys? Why is this a question from St. Louis? What are the risks of walking alone at night in St. Louis, Missouri? The risks are that you can get mowed down. And I'm not even kidding. There was a girl who got mowed down who was here for her conference, who plays volleyball, and her legs got amputated. True story. There was a daughter and a mother who came here from Chicago for the Drake concert downtown. They got mowed over. They're not here anymore. So the risks are look both ways, pause before you walk, head on a swivel, and if it looked like it ain't gonna stop, don't even step out on the street. That was so random. All right, we're moving right along. How long does this is a good question. How long does healing take after a breakup? Whew, healing can take as long. It can take depending on how long you were dating that person. If you were dating that person for a few weeks, then it's probably gonna take a few weeks, maybe a week or so, for you to get over that person. Usually if you're dating them, let's say you were dating them for like a year, that could take up to a month or so for you to get over that person. When you're going through this process of healing after a breakup, I talk about this in other videos. It's called the Deal, Heal, Surrender process. Go back and look over my videos on TikTok and on YouTube. Deal, Heal, Surrender. Look through that or just type in breakup and it'll come up. Excuse my sniffles, by the way. It'll come up with that whole process. Everyone is different. Every situation is different. I'm writing a breakup book right now. It's going to come out this year. It's going to be in my stand store for you guys. Well, anyway, when you're healing from a breakup, you'll know that you're healing when you've deleted that text thread, you no longer follow them on social media, you don't bring them up with your family and friends, your family friends know not to bring them up with you. You're actively learning from your mistakes and whatever parts you played in that relationship. Not necessarily you're the reason why you broke up. It could be a mutual agreement. However, the point is there's always a lesson in everything. So you want to make sure you're thinking back on things you could have done better so you can apply that to the future. You want to also make sure you're not feeling like you're stuck in place when it comes to this person and you're not getting angry, mad, sad, depressed when it comes to this person. You've actually decided, you know what? It did not work out. Am I happy it didn't work out? No. Am I happy? Sometimes you could be happy. It's just whatever your situation is. It's situational, right? The point is, when you're going through your healing journey, you may get down for a few moments, but you have to talk yourself up. Anytime you feel yourself going down a dark path, you have to speak life into yourself and literally focus on the facts when it comes to your healing journey. What are the facts? The facts are, this is why you broke up. This is why it wasn't going to work long term. This is a deal breaker for you. This is what you want to see in the future. How do we get there? The goal should always be in the healing process is how do we move through this to get over here where we're happy, we're healthy, and we're at peace. Because as long as we stay over here to the left, we're down, we're out, we're depressed, we're mad, we're fussy, we're ready to fight. So how do we move from point A to point B? That's your healing journey. And you know you're healed. This is how you'll know you're healed. No matter if it takes 6 to 8 months, 2 weeks, a day. This is how you'll know. Anything that reminds you about that person, literally, it could be anything or anyone, or hearing their name or seeing something that reminds you of them. Anything like that, It's literally, it's giving nothing. It's not giving hate. It's not giving regret. It's not giving sadness. It's not giving, well, what if we could do this and maybe this could happen if we got back. It's not giving none of that. It's giving the emoji with the line for the mouth. It's nothing. It's giving nothing. Meaning, oh, all right, you don't care either way. Like you don't want that person, anything to happen to them. You're just beyond it. And you know that you're in a place to where you know you deserve more, you deserve better. Not that something's wrong with them, but you know you're in a place of peace and happiness and joy. And it doesn't matter what happened there. You're completely healed from it. And now you're ready to move on. Does time help? It's like a trend here. Does time help us to forget someone who broke a heart? No, you can't forget them. They happen in your life. You alive. I gotta sneeze. When you're dating, and if somebody breaks your heart, you don't forget them. If anything, you remember them for the rest of your life. Oh my gosh. I remember the last person who I liked, and they acted like they liked me, but really they had an agenda for me. And so once they couldn't complete the mission, they aborted, aka ghosted me. And I sent them a long book, honey, via text message, and they did not respond. And it was the end of it. And I remember that. I'll never forget that person. I literally made a video about this person. I would never say that person's name ever. But you don't forget someone that broke your heart. No, you always remember that, because and that's something to think about, because I remember who I was back then. Well, that person didn't break my heart. I was infatuated with that. Let's be clear. I was infatuated with that person. That's where I came up with the hearts in your eyes. If you have hearts in your eyes, because I had hearts in my eyes for this person, and that person just wanted to pick me up and put me down. And then when that didn't happen, it was just like, and he had invested in some time, honey. And so when that didn't happen, he ghosted me. And so I would never forget that person. And I don't, it's just funny to think about where you were versus where you are, because we're always supposed to be growing. And it makes me laugh to think about my mindset back then. So for those of you who are listening to this, and you've come from a broken place or a broken heart, you're not going to forget them. No, they're probably one of the most pivotal points in your life. Whether that, if you're 50 and this happened in your 20s, you're going to remember it. So just keep that in mind. All right. Another question is, why do a lot of long-term relationships fail? Because of lack of communication. I can tell y'all that right now. Why do most relationships in general fail? Because of lack of communication. Don't want to communicate, don't know how, refusal to communication, in my opinion, outside of money. But then money could play a factor in long distance relationships, because of whether someone don't have the money to travel, then that I get. But I believe it's ultimately communication, because when you're long term, like I said, you want to talk as much as you can. You want to always keep that person in the loop. You don't never want any kind of long distance of time, long hours of time to pass in the day without communicating with that person. Specifically, if you're like a woman in a new state, you don't have any family there, you definitely don't, and you're with your boyfriend, that person could worry about you. So you don't want to go long periods of time. So you want to have open communication as much as possible, just checking in all throughout the day. Y'all, my nose is out of control. I'm so sorry if that's annoying you, because it's annoying me. All right. So we're going to move on to the next question. I'm trying to get out of the long distance question. What can a man buy a woman to make them happy? Peace. You can buy them peace is what you can do, sir. How can you be happy in a relationship with no communication? How is that? How is that even possible? Like, these are real questions. Here, let me show y'all what I'm looking at. So y'all know I ain't making this up. These are real, and it's not gonna be white, but these are real questions that I'm looking at. Some of these questions folks be asking, I'll be like, are you for real? It says, how can you be happy in a relationship with no communication? It ain't no relationship. How are you? My question, my better question is, how are you in a relationship with no communication? So y'all both got mute mouths? So ain't nobody talking. Y'all just looking at each other. You cannot be happy in a relationship with no communication. I was watching something. I was watching Judge Mathis. I was watching Judge Mathis this morning because I want a TV in my bathroom. Ultimately, when I get a house. So in my bathroom, I have my laptop, not this laptop, but I have my other laptop. And I just use it to watch YouTube, and I have it propped over in the corner where a TV could potentially be, but it's my laptop. So I was watching because I'm wealthy. I'm manifesting my wealthy bathroom with the TV on the wall, living my best life. And so anyway, I was watching Just Mathis, and the couple were divorced. I believe they were divorced. The woman cheated on him, and so she came in one day and told him they had been married 5 years. They had two kids, like a 10-year-old and 12-year-old. So she comes in one day and she just tells him, I'm cheating on you. And the judge was like, well, what did he say? And she was like, nothing really. And he just could not get over the fact that the husband didn't say anything. So he went to the husband and was like, husband, what did you say about her cheating? And he just kind of looked at the judge, not saying anything. I'm gonna have to get some tissue. I'm sorry, guys. Pause for the cause. One moment. So then the lady said, well, judge, that was one of our problems. He doesn't communicate. He does not communicate. And I'm just like, well, how were you married to this dude for 5 years? And remember, she has the 10-year-old and the 12-year-old with this dude. So she been with this dude for a number of years and he does not communicate. And it was interesting to me that I dated Silent Bob. Silent Bob was a guy that I dated years and years ago. He didn't communicate. I would do all the talking, and it was long distance. And so ultimately it didn't work. Well, he ghosted me too. So I dated Silent Bob before Mac Daddy because I couldn't get my lesson with Silent Bob. Mac Daddy came in and took me right on down through there. And I got the lesson in. Head was hard as a rock, but I got the message then after Mac Daddy. And so anyway, if you're in a situation to where you're having communication issues and you got a question, why are we having communication issues? Could it be me? And it's okay to look at yourselves. I guess some people, I don't know if it's your ego, women, if it's our ego or what it is, but it's okay to look at yourself because you want to be the best version of yourself. Or is your ego so big that you believe ultimately that you are right now, as you are in every way, the best version, the most flawless version of yourself? Like, come on, guys. It's okay to look at yourself and be like, you know what? Maybe I could have said this a little different. Maybe I didn't listen that well. Maybe I misunderstood. Like me personally, I'm curious as a little kid. I'm going to question all the things. I can come up with 11 different questions right now about why my hair is like this. What is it doing? What color is it? What texture is that? Are those your real edges? Did you glue them down? When was the last time you dyed your hair? Like I can I can come up with 1,000 questions. And you need to be the same way when it comes to communication so we can get down to the roots of, are they scared to communicate? Do they not know how to communicate? Or are they just down outright refusing to communicate with you because of how you communicate with them? Questions that need answers. See, I just gave y'all a bunch of questions. Maybe I should do a video, 100 questions you could ask the dude you're dating to make sure he's not a psycho. All right. All right. Moving along. I've been on here about 10 minutes. Let's do a few more. Is it okay to get engaged at 19? Probably not. But if that's what you want to do your thing. That was a real question. All right. How would you, oh, here's one. How would you confront that? There's that word. Would you confront the person, in parentheses, or people your spouse is cheating with? Would you confront the person and or people your spouse is cheating with? Confront? Why are you confronting people? If some confrontation gonna be going on, which y'all know I don't like that word when we talk about communication, but if your spouse is the one that's cheating with you with a person or people, a community, why don't you talk to him? Why are you talking to the people he's communicating with? That ain't they man. That ain't they spouse. This is your spouse. So if you're in a situation where you're dating someone and or in a relationship with someone, don't be out here confronting people on the street, because people on the street may not even know he your spouse. He knows he's your spouse and he out here cheating. So you need to have a conversation with him. And you don't go in hot because you're not going to get the answers you want. If he's open to share some answers, you go in from a loving place because it's your spouse. At the end of the day, you love this person, don't you? Of course, you're dating them, you're with them. So you want to go in and you want to lead with love. And then you want to say with your receipts, if you have them, and you should, or you should not be inquiring or having this conversation. You want to say, hey, I noticed X, Y, and Z. Here's the receipt. What's going on with this? You don't be out here confronting people on the streets because you don't know these people. And you don't know that these people know that's your man. So don't be out here doing that, ladies. I know a lot of ladies will choose to go to the other woman or women Usually, I guess, when the woman or women know that the dude isn't single. However, he knows he's not single. And who's the main character in this story? Your dude that you're with. So you need to decide if you're okay with dating a dude that blatantly is disrespectful and wants to date other women or sleep with them or whatever you want to call it. And you need to address that mess because that's trifling. All right. My boyfriend moved in, but I've noticed he's lazy and doesn't help around the house. What should I do? You should ask him. Well, you should have a conversation because before he even moved in, you should have known how he lived wherever he was living before he moved in. And this goes for anyone. You should be over this person's house to have spent the night with them, to be around them in different times of the day and night, holidays, parties, when they're sick, when they just don't, when they're just being lazy, because we all get lazy. And you should see what their surroundings are like. And before you live with someone, you should see what they live like for yourself and then inquire about what you're cleaning, how we're going to do the cleaning thing. Are you used to cleaning every week? Like me personally, for example, I've never lived with a man and I'm not going to live with a man unless we're married. That's my boundary. And so with me, of course, guys that I've dated, of course, we spent the night at each other's houses. I've dated one dude years ago. He was a slob. It was disgusting. I went to his house and I was like, I just want to clean your house because it's ooh. He didn't have sheets on the bed. Like this dude, ooh, was just trifling. Actually, that ain't even lazy. That's trifling. Before I even went in the house, it was a bunch of newspapers. Like, get the newspaper delivered. It was a bunch of my sports. Like, you're just trifling, dude. But that was long ago, child. So anyway, but the point is, you want to be able to go and see how they're living, and then when they come to your house, see what they do, and then before they moved in, you want to. That's one of the conversations you want to have. For example, if you know me personally, I clean up like I was saying. I clean up once a week. What does that look like? Like we vacuum in, we mopping the floors. The dishes are getting washed every single day. I really don't wash dishes all the time because my son does that. But I will, like today, I'm going to wash dishes. Like after this video, I'm going to finish my meal prepping. I got a little bit more meal prepping to do. I'm going to finish that up and then all the dishes will be cleaned and or put in the dishwasher. Going to run the dishwasher, and your bed should be made every day if that's what you want to do. My bed is made every day. Just nothing should be laying around, no clutter all over the place. You need to know if they have clutter. You need to know if they do. Some people don't want dishes in their sink before they go to bed. Me, I don't care. As long as they get washed like the next morning, whatever. And you just should ask these kinds of questions because you know who you are. And there should not be a surprise once they move in unless they're embellishing on what kind of cleaner they are when they really not that kind of cleaner. So if you're living with someone's lazy, and I know this is common, when you live with someone, I live with a son. He is messy. He's super messy. But the house ain't gonna be messy. Like you can have a mess in your room for a little while, but as far as the house is concerned, you're not about to mess up my house. We're not gonna do that. And so with you, if you know you don't like mess around, you want to have that conversation before. But now that you're in it, you want to actually address it and see what you can do. Because this is something that can be worked out. Easy. Don't make it hard. And a lot of things like that, like if she's writing into a stranger, when really you can just have the conversation with that person. That's why I'm saying when it comes to communication, some people are just scared to communicate. And they're scared to offend and scared to use their voice. And it's scary that you're willing to give everything to this person, your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, your time, but you won't and you cannot have a conversation with them like this. To me, that's scary. And I don't know. I question that with humans. All right. Why do I miss my ex even though they treated me terribly? You miss it because obviously sometimes this is my belief. Even the worst kind of person in the world, they can do all these crimes, all this madness. Everyone isn't all bad. Meaning someone who's like a serial K ends with the R. They have some of them will have families, some of them will have children. So there's got to be some love there. And they will love their children, they will love their wife, and then go to work every day, appreciate their job, be managers on the job. But they do this other side thing to where they're taking people out and burying them in fields and stuff. Well, they're not all bad. And I believe no one is all bad. However, when it comes to getting treated bad in this situation, you know of the good that they can bring forth. You know of that. You want that. You love that about them. But because their terrible nature took over, that's the part you must focus on. So you may miss this person. Sure, I miss people I used to be friends with, and they weren't people I should have been friends with. I miss those good parts of that terrible friend, and I have to remind myself of the terrible behavior from that friend so that I can keep myself where I'm at, which is in my peace and focused and moving on to attract better friends. Which if you're in this situation and you're considering going back to a terrible person, knowing they treated you worse, the worst, you have to then look at the facts. And the facts are, these are the terrible examples that I can come up with like that. And that is why I need to stay away from this person, because I don't deserve to be treated like a dog and be dogged walked around the block for the world to see that I don't respect myself because I'm allowing this terrible behavior. So that's what you have to go back to if you're considering going back to a person who treated you terribly. All right, let's do two more questions. What are the best questions to ask a girl when you first meet her? Is she single, ready to mingle? Ask her that. That's the first question you want to ask her. And then after that, can I get your number, girl? And you want to ask her that after, sir. You walked up to her like you got some sense. You introduce yourself. You compliment her on something that she has going on. Bring some humor to it. Let her know you're single. Are you single, girlfriend? I'd love to take you out for lunch. Would you mind it if I could get your phone number so I can give you a call and set this date up? If I was a dude, I'd be a player. I'd be an old player. Because I would just line it up and just be fearless and just be walking up to these girls with this humor, and I just be honey baby child. But I'm not a boy. Thank God. All right. Next and last question. What what's dating a single mother like? That's so funny. That's so funny. Dating a single mother, I've never dated a single mother, so I don't know. But I am a single mother. So I could only think that when you're dating a single mother, you're for sure, you need to plan a date anyway, period. However, specifically when you have a single mother, that means she's single. Perhaps the father is no longer with us, and or the father has decided that he didn't want to be in the child's life, so he's an absentee father, or the father is in his life, for his or her life, the children's life for sure, and so they're co-parenting. Whatever the case may be. Thank you guys for the hearts. I just started getting an abundance of hearts all of a sudden. Thank you so much. I think TikTok will be holding off on the hearts because in every video, usually I'll get all of a sudden I get flooded out with hearts, and it happens every time. So thank you so much, because I just literally went from one heart to over 100 hearts. Thank you so much. So when it comes to dating a single mother, you have to have a plan, and you got to come correct. Specifically for my situation, like I said, just I'll use me for an example. I'm a single mother and because his father is an absentee father, he has decided he doesn't want to be a father, not just to my son, but to his other kids as well. Last time I checked. So anyway, with my situation, my son is older too. He'll be 18 this year. So I don't need a babysitter, but let's just reel it back in. Let's just say he's like 10. And when you're talking to me, you would have to say, hey, are you free on Friday? Because the mother, I would have to get a babysitter, take him to grandma's house. And a lot of you, if you have your parents that live local, I don't have that. I like here, if I needed a babysitter at 10, when I did need one, I'd had to pay for someone to babysit him. I literally had to find somebody through somebody. I found my sitters I have a cousin here, and she knew of sitters that were teenagers, and that's how I found my babysitters, through word from someone I knew. But when it comes to, she's going to need a babysitter, going to have to keep that in mind. Her time is valuable. So if you're taking, like, everybody's time is valuable, I get it, but you're talking about single mothers here. So when you go out, you want to make the most of your time, is what I mean. So don't just take her out to go to the park and look at a tree. No, take her out. You're out. Go grab a cup of tea, a scoop of ice cream, go for a walk, talk, feed the ducks, go in the little things. You sit down in the water and your feet are doing this, you're pedaling, whatever those things are called. Just do something that's fun. Why? Because she's literally single. She's ready to mingle. However, she's not in a relationship. She's around her kid majority of the time. So it's time to be around adults. She's going to want to talk. She's going to want to have a good time, because your job is to have a good time, to do something different, and to take her mind off the fact that she's doing everything by herself. Keep it light, keep it fun, keep it engaging. So there's really not that much different from dating a single mother than dating a woman that doesn't have any kids. Your job is just to be respectful, plan a day. Don't be calling no single mother at all times of the day and night because it's going to look like a booty call. Like, don't even be doing that. But dating a single mother is just as fun as dating a person who doesn't have a child. It's not that big of a difference, in my opinion, other than she has to make sure she has a babysitter, of course. Outside of that, there's really no difference. So I think that's about covers it. I don't know how many questions I answered, but I answered enough for y'all to get it right. So thank you so much for watching. This is Coach B. Wiley here. Don't forget, I have How to Avoid Mr. Time Waster book in 5 steps in my stand store. It is free. Go download How to Avoid Mr. Time Waster. This solves the problem in 5 steps for women who continue to attract the same dude who don't want you, who will ghost you, cheat, lie, make up stuff, gaslight, love bomb, who literally is a walking, talking red flag. And because his charm, his wit, he looks good, he has a great job, his home, his car, whatever it may be, because he's your type, you just justify why you're allowing him to waste your time. I teach you in 5 steps for the low, which is free 99, for you to let these steps soak into your brain. You can be out on a date and have to go to the bathroom to take a look at the steps just that quick to get a refresher course and go out there and engage like you're supposed to. So in 5 easy steps, avoid Mr. Waster time so you can stop getting your time wasted and stop being attracted to dudes who are here to waste your time, and so you can recognize what that looks like when it shows up. Go download it now. The link is in my bio. If you're still here, you're still watching, feel free to like, share, subscribe to this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're on here on TikTok, download it. You can download it, or if you're watching from YouTube as well. If you want to book a session with me, go ahead. That link too is in my bio, mymentor.life. B. Wiley. Book a session with me. I'm here to help you through your dating drama. I'm here to show you how to use your voice. I'm here to help you with uprooting these seeds of toxicity, these seeds of negativity, these seeds that you're not worthy, these seeds that you think you got to be desperate, these seeds of self-awareness, self-unawareness. And I'm showing you how to be aware and how to love yourself and the action that needs to be taken in order for you to attract and keep a quality man, because you're becoming a quality woman. That's the problem I solve. And then when we're talking about communication, I'm here to teach you. I got my degree from the School of Mass Communication. It don't get no better than that. So I'm here to teach you how to communicate your needs, your wants, your desires effectively, and how to carry that good energy on you. We attract quality men who are here to actually get to know you without any hidden agendas. So if you want a coach like that, I'm your girl. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.